Carousel. I am John MusiM. With me we have I Scoticus. I'm reading the text on the screen.
That was great. I love how you like pause and kind of like,
yeah.
Stick to the prompter. Stick to the prompter.
And
he's going rogue.
We have J. We have the other JZ.
It's Jizzy. Yeah.
Jizzy.
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 It's a real fucking mess in here this week.
Jizzy. Bringing the D to dependency. I don't know. I like my jokes. You guys don't have to.
Oh no, I like that one. That was good.
I put the ass back in Assassin. By the way, worst game of Duck Duck Goose ever. Ass in.
That's what.
That was good. I like that.
I love it. I'm not following that train of jokes. Okay.
It's not even a segue because nobody played Assassin's Creed, but man, it would have been a good one, yeah?
No.
Oh, I know. That would have been fun. I like that. But yeah, it's my thing to at least acknowledge quality jokes, especially when they're awkward ones.
I think the main people that play the Assassin's Creed games now are the journalists. I think
their fan base is just reviewers.
Yeah, pretty much.
This weekend, I actually went over to a friend of mine's house because his wife is from southern Louisiana, and she fixed mean gumbo. And so it was just cool enough that they found a reason to do it. But I actually got schooled on the overall scope of the Assassin's Creed games. I'm like, God damn, are you guys just that big of fans of it, or did they really put that much real story content? Because it seems to me that a couple of those games are kind of shit.
Well, 2 and Brotherhood are fucking fantastic, and they have, 20 to 40 hours worth of story. And the rest of the games, like the first one and Revelations, are kind of so-so, and the rest of them, who cares? But they all have, 20 to 30 hours worth of story.
Nice.
Well, at least there's quantity.
Yeah.
No shit.
Anyway, so let's... I just decided to do this on the spot, guys, so whatever. So, real quick, from last week we were talking about how Batman still wasn't released on Steam. It is evidently going to be released soon. I already forgot the date because I didn't write it down.
This Thursday.
Thursday?
This Thursday. I went to check it, and I was like, oh my god, it still isn't out. Jesus.
You know what the best part of that, though? Thursday release date? Everybody's going to pick it up overnight. And it will be the first true trick-or-treat gamble of the holiday.
I don't know. I think you're optimistic about people picking it up. Well, because here's the other thing. They're not even... They fucked this thing for like 5 months. Like, unplayable. Well, literally, you can't buy it. And there were certain pieces, puzzles... There were pieces of the story you couldn't beat. And they did the same thing with the last one. You couldn't do one of the Riddler towers because they just... I don't know. They just made a room you couldn't get into.
They just derped the shit out of it.
But they hired an 8-man company to transfer that thing to PC. I mean...
And with all this time, they're not doing shit for anyone. It's not, oh, here's some of this, granted, awful DLC that we put out. Here's a couple skins or something. Nothing. They're just, okay, you can play your game now. We've had it hostage for 5 months.
Yep.
I know we kept your money, but...
There was someone that I actually had a game, and I can no longer remember who it was, but someone had a problem with a title at launch, and they went, you know what? We're going to go easy on the DLC because of it. And I can't remember who that was. Was that Brink, maybe?
That sounds right.
Hmm.
I remember that had a pretty rough launch.
Yeah, that poor thing. It was a great concept. Fucked up game.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, by and large, there are a lot of mixed reviews for this Batman game. For the most part, I liked it. I mean, Mackie yelled enough about it on Twitter for everybody in the world about the Batmobile. But by and large, yeah, that kind of sucked. But it was a fun game. They told a good story, and they translated it well with great voice acting. That's kind of all you ask for in those games with the good combat and movement.
Yeah, you got that right.
It's a shame that people now have such a bad taste in their mouth for this series that ostensibly should have sort of rode off into the sunset with its head held high,
To be honest with you, I was a little bit burnt out on the series once I got to the second one. But I have bought all of them so far on Steam sales. I will probably buy this one on a Steam sale someday. And someday,
All of them,
when I'm
including
not
Origins?
absolutely, I already own Origins. Yeah.
Yeah?
On Steam.
Okay.
I just haven't played it. I like got I say part way. I got like a couple hours into Arkham City and just stopped caring.
Origins has its cool pieces. By and large, it's just they had to figure out how to empty the city again. So it's Christmas Eve, so everyone's at home. But just seeing Gotham all covered in snow and stuff, and all the Christmas lights up, it was a cool feel.
Honestly, the positive things I heard about Origins really came from like DC fans. Like a lot of hardcore DC fans seem to really like all the weird DC mythos they put into Origins.
They did, but they had to dig pretty deep, which is that goes both ways. So like it's one of your main antagonists is Firefly. Like fine. But the people who really do dig deep into that stuff were appreciative. I think the nice balance is Arkham City.
Gotcha. Well, I will eventually play through them because I own them, but
Arkham City.
I'm not buying Arkham Knight until it's about $5 to $10 on Steam. So
Good move.
I'm still for games that have already come out that I'm holding out for. It's still Far Cry 4, just because I've been too busy and I haven't really had the spare cash. But come this holiday, that fucker is going on sale, and I will have it.
Man, I got Susie addicted to that game, but that's another story.
Don't doubt it at all.
So real quick, Friday the 13th Kickstarter. Don't want to talk a long time about it, but it hasn't met its goal yet. Its goal is only 700,000. They're only about like 180,000 away. If you aren't familiar with it, basically this game company who was originally going to do this asymmetric multiplayer game called like Slasher Slumber Camp or something like that, suddenly got the owners of the Friday the 13th license interested in it. They joined up, and now they're doing a Kickstarter for it. Basically, one person plays Jason, everyone else plays camp counselors.
Doesn't Warner Brothers own that license? He was in Mortal Kombat.
Probably? I don't know.
It's a good question. Let me go
The
see what I can
Kickstarter
find
made
out
it
about
sound like one person owned it, but they're having...
Ultimately, yeah, the original creator gave them permission. I remember reading a story about it, and I was like, wow. Because they made it... Basically, it's kind of like a first-person giant killer version of Mortal Kombat for all the gore and the murder and the ways you stab the shit out of people.
So I don't actually think this is going to be first person. And I think
the way they described it, it sounded like it was going to be.
I don't know how they're going to make the game they want to make for the amount of money they're asking for. Unless this is just another one of those sort of, I don't know, bait and switch isn't the word. It's sort of the Reese's Pieces trail.
Yeah.
Of look, we got our Kickstarter money, and then in comes the developer,
well,
to dump a big pile of money in their front office.
and here's part of it too,
pretty good way
because
to
they
put it, really.
changed the previous game they were working on into this, so they have part of it done. They're just remaking it with Friday the 13th assets. They've now brought Tom Savini in to help out with
because they're going to do a bunch of physical props.
Evidently, like he's going to be the guy behind all the executions to a degree. They got the original guy who played Jason, I guess, to
Kane
come
Hodder.
in and do all the mocap for him.
Not the original, by the way. Kane Hodder was the sort of
He's been the more
6
recent
through
one.
10-ish, around there.
Gotcha.
That's exactly right.
Either way, I think it's an okay place to gamble $30 for a game because, like, worst case scenario is 2 years from now. Oh, well, I guess you don't get a game. But second worst case scenario is 2 years from now. You get a game that's kind of mediocre that has Jason in it that lets you go around killing people that, a lot of people have put money into, so they're going to have some built-in dedicated fan base to it as is. My understanding
is 40 on Deadpool, so
Yeah, see?
Well, and they're supposed to have, like, if not that they're going to hit that stretch goal, but one of their stretch goals is supposed to be like a single-player campaign. But I don't know.
Oh, wow, I didn't realize that.
Oh, wow, and they...
Oh, Jesus, now I get the TVGP title from this week, because I was just going to say Jason Isolation. They must have said exactly that, because that's why it was in my head. Because that sounds like Alien Isolation to me.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I see what you're saying, right.
Well, and I don't... Who knows? It may not be any good, but I think it'd be worth... I want to see that game come out, at least. And then the last note I had on here... was a game you just got really excited about, Jake. So I don't want to.
Fuck yes.
I don't want to bind you in a corner here to talk about it.
I pre-ordered this shit in the middle of summer when it was 110 degrees out, and it felt nothing like Halloween, and forgot all about it. And I don't know what reminded me of it, but Scott and I were talking while we were waiting for the call the streaming to start, and I remembered that Binding of Isaac Afterbirth is out this Friday.
Yeah.
So what are they adding to the game in this expansion?
It's gonna work like the Binding of Isaac Rebirth did for the first game. It's just a ton more items, more levels, more music. And when I say a ton, I mean like 150 to 200 more items.
Damn.
Now, the music thing is actually
trinkets.
pretty noteworthy to me.
Well, they switched composers, which
Oh, really?
sucks, but
I miss Danny B. I miss him a lot. But these guys are still good.
us
So-
musicians can be pretty emo, pretty. What are the other musical genres called? Like those, they're all musical syndromes too. But
So yeah, you can. This probably be out maybe Wednesday-ish, you think?
I think
On
so.
there. So you should still have a couple days to pre-order it. It is an expansion. It's not a standalone. So you have to have the original. But if you have it pre-ordered, you can get it for $6.66.
well, and
Which
they'll
is good.
undoubtedly have a buy the whole thing pack on Wednesday.
They
too.
do. It's like $24 or something like
Woo.
Which-
Terrible.
that. It's well
That
worth
game
it.
goes on sale for like $2 at Christmas time.
That's no shit.
I've probably bought 10 copies of that just to give out to people.
Wow.
I have 550 something hours in the original and like 330 in this one. So
Jeez.
yeah, I got my money's worth out of the
Yeah.
the $16.
I would say you did. That's like 1/100th of a cent per hour.
Well, it's sort of a different version of, because I've been playing fucking clickers again this week. I found another one and I don't know why.
Oh, what did
You know
you
what
find?
you do to clickers? You grab a brick, you throw it, it chases the brick, and then you escape. Like
Yeah, but you got to move up on them real slow.
Don't
But you know what? It's a much sort of. I think the reason I've been playing these clickers is because I've just been watching stuff on Netflix or Amazon or whatever, and it's just something to turn off your brain while you're paying attention to the other screen. And Binding of Isaac is a more active version of that. That's much more fun. So it's a real good, just like, everyone, the guys over on TVGP have your Destiny or Diablo 3 or you have Warframe. The game where you can just turn off your brain and just do something else. It's a cool version of that.
That's really the benefit of playing like RPGs that require a certain amount of grinding in them, because it's really easy just to sit and watch a show while you're grinding shit out.
Or something, like stand-up comedy or something that you can just listen to.
Yeah.
They're
yeah.
real good for that. So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I've listened to a lot of stand-up for that. That's how I discovered Bill Burr for the first time. Became a
I'm
huge
going to
fan
see
of
him
that
on
guy.
Thursday.
Oh, that's awesome.
Bill Burr while grinding?
Sometimes
Sometimes when you're grinding, you just want to have a bald, freckled man screaming in your ear.
I know. While you're given the D for dedication.
Oh.
I'm having a real hard time thinking of D words, so I got to end this joke stream I'm attempting.
That was beautiful. That was so awkward. It was positively endearing.
Yeah, but I mean,
ring.
I mean, on another, when you do that, you never feel alone, which also happens to be the name of the game that me and Susie played through the other week.
Okay.
And so, like, this was a PS Plus game. And
Never alone.
Yes.
Yep, okay.
It is. It's going to be kind of a weird one to recommend. Like, me and Susie loved it, but a huge chunk of the reason we loved it was for kind of the setting and the graphical style and the fact that it has a documentary in it, like an unlockable documentary as you go through, because it's
The whole thing's based on, Aleutian history or something like that, right?
Yeah, I never could understand the word they were saying well enough. That is whatever their Inuit tribe is called.
Yeah.
But it's essentially that. It's a documentary about a specific tribe that lives up in Alaska or Canada or somewhere up there.
Basically, the Great Northwest.
Yeah. And just kind of how they survived and this and that. And what happens is they talk about their entertainment in the game. And what they would do is they would have a storyteller come out at night and tell a story. And to them, it was like a big TV show. And so the game is actually one of those stories.
So does it cut back and forth between the game? When you say documentary, do you mean like live action?
Yes.
Oh,
Whoa!
fuck, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So
They-
does it like cut back and forth?
the watching the documentary portion is optional, but basically the documentary is
I would
your
watch the shit out of that.
go to the other corner, go to the secret hidden corner and find the little piece that unlocks the next portion of the documentary. Kind of.
See, I don't like that as much as the idea of them doing like a Band of Brothers style, like before every level you have some live action and then at the end you sort of cut back to them. I like that idea.
Well, and
Man.
the way they execute, most of them are super easy to find. Like me and Susie found them without even really trying. We missed exactly one, and I know exactly where we missed it, and we're probably never going to go back and get it because, unfortunately, the game portion of the game is not all that great. And like
Husky puzzles.
well, it's not hard. Like there's not. How do I put this? Like, the gameplay is essentially because we played it co-op, and you can play either a little girl Eskimo or a fox.
Oh, it's a fox. I thought it was a dog. Okay.
Well, foxes are dogs.
Yeah. I mean, they're canine-ish, whatever that...
Well, they technically are considered canines, so, you know.
Okay. But, like,
But yeah, it is a fox. I actually thought it was an Arctic wolf originally.
oh, no.
I was like, oh, and the size is wrong. Maybe it's a puppy. And then,
Yeah.
Or the girl's gigantic.
yeah, she's fucking
She's 7'8".
huge.
Like, wow, they're really putting something in the water up there.
Yeah, no. But basically, they each have different abilities that they have in the wild. You know, like the girl gets a bola she can throw at things, and
She gets Ebola.
yes, she gets she gets
Thank you for
Ebola
beating me
and
to that. I
dies.
was looking at the game
That's
and
the
I
end
was
of the-
trying to break myself away to make that joke.
It turns out you're dead the whole time. It's all a fever dream.
No, she just brings out a bowl of soup whenever she feels like it.
Oh.
Which is incidentally is also a band name in one of their album names, Bola Soup. It's a great album.
Gotcha.
Anyway, but like the gameplay's real limited. The puzzle solving is kind of
It's more about the story anyway, though.
it's pretty easy, yes. But the thing I worry about is how difficult it is single player. Because the idea of controlling both of those characters or relying on one of them to be AI, I think could be fairly nightmarish at times.
It worked pretty good for that World War I game. I forget the name. Valiant Hearts, was it?
That has co-op.
I don't know if it has co-op. I'm saying like the whole person-dog team-up AI thing worked okay.
Oh, okay. Well, and it might, but also keep in mind, I think Valiant Hearts was an Ubisoft game, wasn't it?
You're going over my head here. I got to look it up.
Okay. I feel like Valiant Hearts had a real publisher, and this is indie dev all the way.
You know, I feel like a bad person for the fact that I never really looked over the art of this game before right now.
It's a...
And I should have owned this game by now.
You know,
This thing is just...
It's real pretty.
It's stylish and beautiful. I like it a lot.
You know, the game's not going to blow your mind, but man, it's great. It's so cool watching, like, the documentary's awesome, seeing the people talk about their culture, seeing these old pictures of these crazy stilt hut things built on the shores of an island, and kind of hearing them talk about life, like, you know, when it goes dark through all of November or something like that, or there
Yeah,
isn't a
true.
sunset, you know, in whenever that is.
Yeah, you're right, and that is a very good point.
And
All
hearing,
the
like,
vampires show up and they're there for a month.
Yeah. Or you gotta
You
go...
gotta hang out with Josh Hartnett for
Oh,
90
God.
days.
Damn it,
And
I
fuck
hate
it-
when that guy shows up.
and fucking go hunt down Robin Williams for killing somebody.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We're switching movies now. Okay.
Hey, it's all in the same area, same phenomenon.
But like most of the people that own a PS4 probably had PS Plus while this was given away for free. So it would be very easy just to play through it and get a friend. It's probably like a 4 to 6 hour game. And they have a DLC out for it that's supposed to be another story. I just haven't bought it yet, but undoubtedly me and Susie will eventually play that because we really liked that game.
Point of order, Valiant Hearts was made by Ubisoft
Yeah.
and also has great art. God, that's a pretty game. Sorry.
It does. It's a
it's-
game I've always meant to play through, and I guess I own it because of PS Plus, but I never got around to it.
It's gameplay-wise, it's probably a lot of the same as what you were doing with sort of pretty basic puzzles and kind of cheap shots sometimes. But really, you play that game for the art.
Gotcha.
Oh, and it's beautifully animated, and like you thought Castle Crashers had some cool animation. Like this is Ooh, this move.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Well, it's also in a completely different class, I would imagine. See, it's like oh shit, what was that game? There was a side scroller that like made side scrollers popular again. I got it on the Xbox when I still used mine. Oh fuck, it was all shades of gray.
Talking about Limbo?
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, side scrollers were already back around by the time Limbo got in, but
Yeah, but that one really made
it probably
cinched
did
it.
help. But
I feel it did.
I guess
I'll-
I'd have to
I'll
go
leave it
back
Artsy
at
and
side
that.
look.
scrollers, artsy indie, that and
It was the craft beer of video
well,
games.
Braid was the first. I
Braid.
mean, Braid is really turned into the hipster of all indie games.
Yeah.
But I don't
except it rewound time to before it was cool.
Nicely done.
know. Oh man, I don't know. It gave us an interesting tale, you know.
Because of the fox. I get it.
Well, I mean, the fox lived on kind of the lands between Canada and the U.S., kind of a border.
Oh, so there's like an international intrigue thing and like getting a green card, that kind of stuff. Is that what the documentary was about? Immigration?
Well,
That's
you
crazy.
know, how about you tell us about Tales from the Borderland and quit ignoring my horrible transition.
Oh, see, that wasn't listed first in my notes, so I forgot it was a thing. Tales from the Borderlands. The final episode is now out, and people have generally seemed to like it. So I saw it was on sale this weekend. The season pass is like $16. And I found out that they are killing the rewards program for the credit card I'm on, the points thing. So I had to cash them all in. I got like $1,400 in credit coming to my account. So I was like, $16, sign me up.
Damn,
Well, I haven't cashed a single point in 12 years. So,
that would do it.
Yeah.
That would do it.
so I picked up Tales from the Borderlands. I'm probably only a couple hours into it, and I'm not real sure that I love it. It's sort of it has some good writing. I mean, you play Telltale games for if you like the art style, if you like the writing, and just the sort of nominal action that goes into a game. There's been a couple cool parts so far. I'm still in episode 1. There are 2 protagonists, and it's telling the story from both sides. And it does that cool thing that Kalaware's Gunfighter did, where it's sort of you're telling the game's story to someone else because it's already happened. So, like, if you die, they do you sure it happened like that? Because you're not dead. Oh, well, maybe I
Oh,
exaggerated.
I like it.
They
Right.
pulled the Prince of Persia.
Sure. So there's that stuff, and it's kind of your general same art style animation you're used to. You start out on Hyperion's big H plane, which is cool. There's some. Oh, Patrick Warburton is in it.
What?
So yeah, there you go.
I didn't fucking know that.
That's appealing.
He is your arch sort of your because you work for Hyperion. At least one of the characters does. Works for Hyperion, and you're trying to claw your way up the sort of the corporate ladder, and he's your nemesis, sort of going up the whole way. And I don't want to spoil the jokes, but the first 5 minutes, you think you're getting this promotion, and it turns out he got it instead. And so you decide, long story short, you have to go down to Pandora to start some shenanigans. But yeah, he sort of takes on the handsome Jack adversary role.
Oh my god! And that voice, I can already. Oh, that would be fantastic.
It's
Warburton
pretty
has
cool.
great delivery. I mean,
all I hear is the Tick and Joe from Family Guy.
Right.
I can't shake it. But Telltale's always real good about getting good quality voice actors. Like when they had Michael Madsen in the second season of Walking Dead. He was perfect for that.
I haven't played.
Actually,
second
that would be a
season of
good
Walking
point.
Dead.
It's way better than the first one.
Really?
Yeah. Well, it's not as they
Did you
figured
like
out how
the
to
first
make.
one? Okay, so stop real quick. Did you like the first one?
Oh yeah, yeah, but they
Did you like it as much as everyone else?
probably
Okay. Okay.
they refined a lot of stuff into. It's a lot less of the walk around, get thing, find thing to put thing into. It's sort of a lot more streamlined. Where if you need to find a knife and a screwdriver, they're both in the same room. You're not walking all over the place.
Gotcha.
But I'm digressing. I've gotten into the first town that you sort of roll into, got in a fight with some locals, had to call down a power loader, that old thing. Um,
Nice.
so it's fun so far. I like the humor. It seems like I don't know. I don't know. I'm having trouble putting my finger on it. It sort of seems like the controls for the power loader. You control it in first person because you're controlling it through like a hologram on your wristwatch or whatever. So then you go into the eyes of the power loader and you're shooting dudes or whatever. It doesn't. I mean, those games have never done action well, but it feels like there's something missing here. And I don't know if that's just because I'm sort of burnt out on these, or maybe that Wolf Among Us did that pretty well. I don't know. But
Well-
I'm definitely playing more of it.
I've worried about it on the merit that I got so used to the combat atmosphere from Borderlands 2 that if they did any fighting and tried to give it to me at all like it would be in the game, I was sure they'd fuck it up.
Well, and I was maybe some of this would be helped by the fact that I'm playing with a controller. But the thing is, even playing with a mouse and a keyboard, they're always pretty. There's a lag. There's a definite input lag in any of their games. So I'm not sure that would help a lot. But yeah, it feels real mushy. And like some of the combat's there just because you're on Pandora and people have to die. But I don't know. It seems like there's some real cool. I like where the story's going with the second protagonist. She's sort of it's kind of seems like it's going to be sort of an Ocean's 11 type thing. Just sort of people backstabbing each other and intrigue and surprises and stuff. And that's the piece I'm looking forward to. So, we'll see.
Yeah, I can't play Telltale games that often. Like Walking Dead Season 1 obviously was amazing. I thought Wolf Among Us was awesome. It's probably going to be next year before I give another Telltale game a try.
You know what? And it really, they totally got me with the Impulse Buy, for sure. I went, oh, $16. It's not going to go much below that for a pretty long time. So
Yeah. Honestly, my time feels so limited right now, and I feel so much pressure with Fallout 4 coming out that will undoubtedly take over my life that I just cannot justify another purchase.
for sure. I threw Skyrim in over the weekend, and just I kind of feel like playing Skyrim. Let's see how it works with the new rig because I haven't played it since I got it. And playing that thing on ultra settings is amazing.
It is. It is.
But all of a sudden, I lost 18 hours of my weekend because it was just like, oh, well, football starts early. They're playing a game in London. I'll turn the game on at 9, and oh Christ, now the Sunday night game's over, and I'm still running around screaming at goats. I'm just screaming goats off of mountains for just all night.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Fallout's gonna. Oof,
Yeah.
Boy, I'm
pretty
glad I
much.
got some vacation time, so I've saved up in case I need to call in sick or something.
Yeah, I'm taking Thanksgiving week off, which won't help me the first couple weeks it out, but it definitely will help later.
Oh, by then you'll be in that sweet spot. The sort of where it's really gets its hooks in you.
Well, and my hope is, my fingers are crossed that they release the mod workshop by then too, so that whatever annoys me about the game, someone will have made a fix for it.
We better hope so, because the thing's probably not even going to function day one.
Yeah. Well, and I think don't quote me on this. I feel like I had watched a stream where they were saying that they were basically going to get the workshop working on PC, and then Xbox, and then PS4.
That seems like the smart way to go.
But I heard it's not going to be available day one, and I don't know how much they're going to push that off. So, a little worrisome. But worst comes to worst, I ditch off the main story till someone fix it. But
Huh.
Yeah, so you can go off and find a bunch of cool shit, and then run into a progress save or a progress bug that just wipes your save. That'd be great.
That'd be great. I'd be happy. And then that would guarantee that I just use God mode to do whatever I want for the rest of the game.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, and I'm hoping also that it goes better than people are giving it credit for, because I've seen some people very curiously bitch about it on the idea that it's basically Minecraft.
That stuff I'm not excited about.
And I'm
I'm
like,
really
man,
hoping
I
there's
don't
not
know.
a heavy emphasis.
Well,
I honestly I think that people are getting a little too. I think they're overreacting,
well, keep in
which is
mind,
saying something from someone who tends to overreact. So, you know.
this is, judging by past Fallout and Elder Scrolls games, they're gonna take what was in Skyrim, the forging from that game, and this is just gonna be an expanded version of this. Like I would probably bet at least $10 on that.
The forging, see, that's the thing. The forging, the crafting in Fallout 3 wasn't really fun. The forging, the survival stuff in Fallout New Vegas was boring as fuck. The forging in Skyrim, I didn't think was real fun. So pushing more emphasis on that, you know what?
You see,
let
I
me say
got
this. I hope it's
super-
ignorable.
I'm sure it will be. I got super. I mean, it's a Bethesda game. You could ignore the majority of whatever they throw at you, and just go and make alchemy potions and sell those for the rest of your life, or whatever that equivalent in Fallout is. But
Not to say that they would do this, but what I'm saying is I don't think Bethesda would do this, but what I get scared of is something like this situation with Metal Gear Solid Online, where you have to play the online component or you start having your single player suffer. I'm worried. I'm not nervous. I'm not freaking out, but I'm a little sort of hesitant about that facet because I'm worried that it's going to play a strong role in the single player, and I hope I'm wrong. Because people are probably going to get. I'm sure there are going to be awesome YouTube videos because of this thing, and people are going to dump hours and hours and hours into it. I don't want anything to do with it.
well,
At least at this point.
one of the big things to keep in mind too is the Hearthstone DLC for Skyrim destroyed the game when it was first released, and is still not great. And
Oh, they had to balance all the cards out and figure the different, racial powers and stuff. Oh, wrong Hearthstone. I'm sorry.
yeah, oh, ha. Oh God, your Warcraft is strong.
Oh, that was really good too,
Just-
because I just rode right along with it, going,
was-
well, this is something I don't play, so.
I was blinded like I was in a blizzard. Anyway,
Really?
so
I said good day, sir.
yeah.
Yeah.
You get nothing.
Anyway, so we were talking about Tales, so let's talk about Undertale.
Yeah, I've really only seen a couple of screenshots, but Twitter has exploded with this thing. What is it?
Well, first, I guess to introduce those who haven't heard of the concept, like, one of my friends has been bugging me for probably a month now to buy Undertale. It's a $10 indie game that is a nostalgia piece. I'm guessing aimed at Earthbound fans, but I've never played. Like, I played like an hour of Earthbound 0, and it was cute, but I hated the gameplay, so I never really kept playing.
A lot of this stuff I'm seeing reminds me of like wizardry.
No.
No?
Like, I think I...
Okay, what I get
It's
it.
just too Okay, I realize the irony of me saying this, and that it's too JRPG now, but the thing is
What?
Wizardry is now owned by, Japan.
No, I meant like the early ones, like the sort of left. There's just a square in front of you, first person. Left turns left, right turns right, kind of thing.
Oh, no, it doesn't
No?
play like that.
Oh,
you're,
okay.
You're looking at a battle screen if you're seeing that.
Well, I'm looking at stuff here right now, and all I can think is, so this is kind of like an evolution past Tamagotchi.
No.
Graphically.
I see what you're saying. I don't remember what Tamagotchi looks like, so... But, I mean...
Well, then why don't you tell us what this game is, and we'll shut the fuck up and quit guessing.
Oh, no.
that sounds
I'm gonna bullshit my way through this no matter what.
Yeah, honestly, that may be more infuriating to fans of the game than me actually talking about it. It's a game that I wasn't sure if I'd get, because, like, RPG nostalgia pieces, I played one or two, and sometimes they're cute. Most of the time it's just like, well, I've seen this before, I don't need to see it again. And I've been told this game is like the Psycho Mantis Metal Gear encounter times 1,000. But I have not experienced that. I am...
Which is to say that you have to go online and look up how to get past the entire game? That doesn't sound like fun.
I have certainly felt that way a couple times. The basis for the game is you live in a world where the monsters banish themselves to this underworld area, and you fall in a hole and land in the monster world.
And
for me-
Mara is right in front of you.
no, no penis monsters so far, at least.
Ah, dick teeth.
Ugh, dick teeth. How would you brush
Not,
that?
not starting that one back up again. I'm sorry. Go, sir.
I was gonna say we're kind of stuck with it now.
We'll do a 20-minute riff on green dicks again. We can't have that happen. This is not a Hulkcast.
No. So kind of the gameplay basis for Undertale is it's basically a point-and-click adventure in the guise of a NES to SNES RPG. You have your Zelda-style screen where your character's walking around, and your character looks like a sleepy kid, which makes me want to punch him all the time. But the soundtrack is chiptune. Whenever you get in a fight, what happens is you have two options. You can fight or you can act. The acting option is completely different for every single encounter in the game.
So, like, this is like an Undertale acting all night thing? What kind of chiptunes are we talking? Are we talking cool Shovel Knight chiptunes or old-ass Mario 1 chiptunes?
Sadly enough, I have not played Shovel Knight. The soundtrack, I think, is not bad.
Okay.
It's not bad. It's not my favorite chiptunes I've heard. Honestly, I usually like my chiptunes with a dash of modern in them. Like a lot of Danny B's soundtracks, like we brought up earlier. But
Anamanaguchi or something?
yeah. And this is like pure, like dedicated to the style of the time chiptunes. Which, it's not bad. If you're into chiptunes, I think you're going to like the soundtrack a lot. But the enemy, the act encounter, basically the game gives you non-violent solutions to everything. And they have a plethora of endings, I guess, depending on if you kill anyone or not and whatever else goes into it. Some of the ways the game tries to be clever, and some people get mad at me for spoiling aspects of this, but I don't care. I'm not going to spoil anything major. I'm just going to give you some examples so you can get maybe a taste of flavor for the game. Very early on in the game, you encounter a character who's MOMster, who very much, appears like she wants to be your mom. And
Oh, God.
It's a MOMster.
She
Don't you write that
Wow.
down, Scott. I will kick your ass. That is not a
Too
title.
late.
Okay. So
Especially
anyway,
the way I
this
just spelled it.
there's a scene near the beginning of the game where they're going through the tutorial stuff, and the mom goes, now I'm going to give you a very hard test. You're going to have to use all the skills you've learned so far. You have to make it across this room. And then she leaves you, and you literally just walk across the room, and that solves it.
Did they at least do something clever like in Fallout 3 where you're a baby and have to open the baby gate or something? I'm sorry, baby prison.
Kind of completely different scenarios.
No,
like-
you just walk right across the room and that's the joke, huh?
Yeah, that's the joke of that particular piece.
All right.
And
Is
they
there a rim shot that happens when you do that too?
No. No. But, like, the enemy encounters, for instance, the way you talk yourself out of them, like, they'll, okay, like, an enemy this is actually a good enemy to bring up because it also brings some of the things that drive me absolute fucking crazy with the game. So I'm walking along, and there's this snow lump, and I know it's called a snow lump because you click on some of the others, and the game declares it's a snow lump. Well, this one has a little cute dog's head pop up. And then it pops up a little bit more, and then it turns
And it's
out
not connected to a dog. Sorry.
and then it turns out to be an 8-foot-tall dog knight thing. And it goes to an enemy encounter, and the way they do enemy counters is you see a picture of the enemy, and then you have a box with a heart in it. The heart is you, and something will happen. You will have to move the heart around to dodge what's ever being shot at you. So this dog knight is called a greater dog. And your acting options with him are to beckon, to pet him,
Nice.
Well, he's 8 feet tall. You would just be petting his balls.
to ignore.
Well, if you reach high enough, you maybe might scratch his belly.
We aren't playing Red Rocket here, guys. We're playing Undertale.
Oh!
You get to the next snow pile and it just says Red Rocket.
Yeah.
Oh
Oh, God. He's not sticking his head out this time.
But so the solution to this character is you ignore them, and then the dog gets closer, and you ignore it, and then it gets closer, and it keeps getting closer because it wants your attention. Like the enemy behaves like an excited dog. Like, it wants to play with you and pet you and stuff. And if you interact with it, then it'll just go on forever. And if you
In
ignore it,
Soviet Russia, dog pets you.
well, and if you ignore it, it will go away. But you know, it happens like after a puzzle, like you go save point, you go puzzle, you go dog. And, you know, you've gone through 2 or 3 screens at that point, and you literally have to ignore him for about 5 or 6 times before the encounter's over. And, you know, you do it a couple times, and you're just like, I don't get why this isn't working, and then you die, and then you have to go through the whole thing again, and there are lots of encounters there, and like 6 times to repeat an action in a battle is
That's
actually...
too many.
It's too many, and it is a small number for the game.
What?
Ugh.
Like the last boss fight I just did, I had to do it like 20 times.
Is
before-
this like the Family Guy sense of humor where something's not funny unless you do it for an egregiously long time?
I guess so. Like, it gives you different text inputs typically when you do those things to kind of give you clues that this is changing, but it's also just like, you know, you have your act option, and then you have your, I can't remember what it's called, but you have an end encounter option where basically you can choose mercy.
You can throw your Ebola at him.
Sure. But I think some people are really going to like the game, and I think it has a cult following for it, but I don't think I can play anymore. Like, and I know that's going to disappoint some people and maybe make some people angry, but it's just, I didn't play Earthbound, guys.
Did you ever play? This reminds me a lot of the Cthulhu Saves the World and what was it, Final Fight 7 or something like that. The two that came out together.
Breath of Deaths?
Breath of Death 7.
Yeah. I played a bunch of Breath of Death. I actually like those games better than this one. I thought those games were occasionally funny. Like this one, all the jokes in it are literally 90s RPG style jokes.
See, that was the thing. Breath of Death and Cthulhu Saves the World had jokes that were funny in the context of the game and not just because it was, hey, you guys remember this thing?
Well, and this
There was a thing.
This doesn't have like pop culture references. It's very
tropes.
GPG level jokes in it. Like you run into a pair of skeleton brothers, and one skeleton just tells like really hokey puns all the time. Like he reminds me, like it made me think of Quest for Glory is what it made me think of. And it's just like they're all really dumb bad jokes that I just did not care about. Like, and I keep hoping that the game, like I hoped the game was going to be like Frog Fractions or something like that, where it was going to evolve in game style or do something completely different or really kind of blow my mind. And like 3 hours into it, and it hasn't done that. And I looked it up, and I'm like, I just entered like I think the 3rd or 4th area of the game out of 5 areas. Right?
Did I hear you say you endured 3 or 4 of the 5 areas?
You did. You did. Because
man, that's really saying something.
I really didn't like this game. So
that's a bummer.
I don't hate it. I just, well, okay. At the height of my frustrations, I might hate it, but I don't. I'm glad people like it. I'm glad it has a little bit of a cult following. I don't know that it'll spread beyond that, and I don't necessarily know that I care. But it's only $10, so it wasn't like a huge expense for me, except I'm stupid and I bought the soundtrack with it, so it was $18, but whatever.
Oh,
Is
no.
this something that people that translates well to like a stream or YouTube, that people could go check it out before they buy it?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Like the way the game was kind of pitched to me was that anything you said about it was a major spoiler, but after playing it, I highly disagree. And don't really think there's a whole lot to spoil about the game. So, I don't know. Take that for what you will.
I'll probably skip it.
Yeah, I know. It's,
Yeah, but it is a good point that maybe it is something that, you know, we might want to think about streaming so people can get a sense of what they're actually thinking about buying.
I could also just punch myself in the dick in front of the camera.
I was pointing them to.
Well,
other people.
actually, I think there are laws against that in some states.
Well, if I kept my pants on, it would probably be fine.
Yeah, just keep the camera above the desk and we'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just tears of dick pain. Just streaming. There's your streaming. Streaming tears of dick pain.
Oh, wow. I wish we could use that as a title, but no.
I would rather dreadfully saw my arms off with pennies.
Wow, that was pained. That was pained.
Yeah, I don't know. You talk about your shit.
That was some dreadful shit right there.
I am continuing my Shocktober. No, Patrick Lippick took that. Rocktober. No, every station in the world has took that.
Cocktober.
Cocktober, little outside of my interest. I'm watching horror movies this month. I'm gonna do Saw first because it's a quicker conversation. The first 5 Saw movies are on Netflix right now, and I marathoned them because why not? I was just dicking around in the clicker game. I watch all 5 Saw movies. I think those get a lot more shit than they deserve.
So this will be interesting because I know the entire plot to the first one, but I've never watched it because I dislike mutilation style horror, which is I admit it is slightly hypocritical of me because I love the first 2 Hellraiser movies and those definitely have a lot of mutilation in them, but a lot of the aspects I like about them are kind of the more mystical and
Well, and that's sort of weird. That was going to be kind of my takeaway here. I actually, I've seen them all before, and I'm not interested really in the torture porn either. I watched a couple of weeks ago. I saw Human Centipede was on one of these services, Netflix, whatever.
Oh, God.
And I went, I fucking hated every minute. I don't get why anyone liked that movie. But what's cool about Saw is that the traps are interesting. Now, they'll go into the room, whatever, they'll show whoever's in the trap or someone's got to save somebody in the trap or they got to decide how to get around the trap or whatever. They're usually pretty interesting concepts. When it actually gets into the trap slowly killing someone and, it's twisting their head off or whatever, I'll just fast forward through that part because I don't care about that stuff. But the mythos and sort of kind of this John, watched 12 hours of it. You think I'd remember the guy's fucking name?
Cary Elwes?
No, although he does show back up in 3, I think.
Oh, weird.
Sort of just the mythos of John, a Jigsaw, the Jigsaw.
Oh, okay. Sorry, right.
Like
the mythos of John. Why does he always go with puns?
Yeah, I got no puns for that. That's a damn shame. John Sawsim? No, nothing. So anyway, that's Jigsaw's real name, and he has cancer, and the whole reason, his whole reason for putting people in all these horrible devices is to make them appreciate their life, and if they don't try to, it's all sorts of ironic punishment and stuff, which are dumb and it's lazy writing, and I don't care because it just scratches an itch for me. There's a guy who would cut himself. Had nothing wrong in his life, good life, but just he cut himself. And so he wakes up in basically a nest of barbed wire, and he'll just die if he doesn't do anything, but if he wants to get out, he's going to have to crawl through this barbed wire. And it's just ironic punishment crap. But you know what? Just they're cool. They're stylistic. They're very iterative, but what I like about them is, that first one became a hit, and they didn't see it coming at all. It blew up, and they went, holy shit, we gotta make money on this right now. Start making a sequel, and they do one every year, and I think that's why people get shit for it. But at least for these first 5, what's real cool about them is they all take place on the same day. I'm sorry, 2 through 5 are all concurrent.
What?
They're all in that same 24 hours or whatever, or maybe it's 3 through 5. I'm sorry, it's 3 through 5. But it's cool how, yes, they are totally trying to retcon these sequels into the story, but they did them very well, and it just, I don't know, I like the way they all unfold.
Well,
so.
I mean, I'm still never going to bother seeing them, but I have to at least give respect to the fact that they put at least a little bit of effort in on that.
Well, they really did. It wasn't, this isn't Jason Takes Manhattan. I mean, it might be by the 7th or 8th episode or whatever they're up to now. But I don't know. I think it's cool. And they, if you go back and watch that first Saw movie, back in the day, we recognized one person and one person only, and that was Carrie Elwes. But if you go back and watch it, it's got an assload of people you know now. Like half the cast of Lost was in that first Saw movie.
Holy shit.
I'm drawing blanks now. Shit. But seriously, a ton of people you'd recognize. And then in a couple of the later ones, the hot redhead from Starship Troopers was in those. So there's that.
Ah.
But yeah, so that was my movie stuff. I've also been watching horror TV, and that is Penny Dreadful on Showtime. I do not have Showtime. I've been downloading the episodes off of Amazon. I think HD, they're like $2.50 or $2.99 a piece. This first season only has 8 episodes, so it's pretty affordable to try and get into it. It's basically, imagine if you had League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, or you had Van Helsing, except they were cool and not campy.
So like the comic book for League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
I haven't read the comic book, but it's sort of that.
It's actually pretty goddamn sharp.
It's an Alan Moore comic, so you already know it has some
Right,
level
sure.
to it.
It's basically if you'd imagine Van Helsing as a drama, as a serialized drama, instead of an over-the-top PG action movie.
So what? I literally know nothing
So
about
basically, remove Hugh Jackman for first.
I literally know nothing about Penny Dreadful. So this is an action movie, you said. It's not
It
a
is
TV
not.
series? Okay, it's a TV series.
It is a Showtime TV drama
Is it
that
on
has.
Is it on
it's on-
Netflix?
I had to buy the episodes on Amazon Video,
Okay.
so not free. But it's got all those cool characters. It's got. Now, mind you, I'm only 2 or 3 episodes in, so I'm guessing that some of these other characters are going to show up. But it's got, vampires are in the first 10 minutes. And not like Twilight vampires that, like they're real sexy and stuff. Like fucking monsters. It all takes place in Victorian London, 1820s, around there. It's got Josh Hartnett. Josh Hartnett is in it.
Arshnet.
Yeah. Eva Green, she was the Bond girl in Casino Royale.
Yes, she was.
And there's this super hot Irish girl who happens to be a prostitute, so bonus there. And I couldn't get past how attractive this girl's voice was. Excuse me. And I get to like the end of the second episode and I went, holy shit, that's Billie Piper. Dude, no? Nothing?
I know who that is. Wait, John does? Okay, she was Rose Tyler from the first, 3 seasons of Doctor Who?
Yeah.
I've never seen more than a couple episodes of Doctor Who, so I don't really know anyone's name.
Okay.
Okay. She's
I've looked
singer,
up
actress,
pictures.
everything. Yeah, I'll bet you have.
She is an attractive blonde. Got it.
But yeah, she's in it.
She's
it's just-
chipmunk looking to me.
Yeah, I guess. Well, it's those front teeth. Yeah. But it's real cool. I think Frankenstein's going to show up here and his monster, if you know what I mean. I think Dorian Gray is in it. Just sort of all those characters you would expect, I have a hunch will show up by the end of the first season here. So, real good production values, good writing. It's not overwritten.
So, real quick, just to get myself a baseline for this, have you watched Once Upon a Time?
No.
Okay.
I watched Grimm.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, I haven't seen.
It's not close to that.
I'm trying to think of another TV show that I might have seen that you have seen that we both don't hate that I can use as a metric to determine whether this show is actually any good or not.
It feels like sort of kind of the. It has the aesthetic sort of, although less gray, of the Sherlock Holmes movies with Robert Downey Jr.
Okay.
But it's not overly stylistic the way that they do them, where it freezes and it cuts to him talking to himself
Yeah.
before the action. None of that. It's just straight like TV real-time drama. Not real-time like 24. Or
God.
real-time with Bill Maher. But it's a standard sort of thing, and it's got sort of that aesthetic and feel, and everything's sort of dirty, but not Game of Thrones dirty, in either mud or boobies.
Okay, so really quick, a comment that's applicable to this conversation. Parkour Cannibal says, if this is like if Once Upon a Time could be taken seriously. It could be highly appealing because I loved the first season of Once Upon a Time, but the unfortunate part is all of the characters on the show have a degenerative brain disease that makes them continually fucking stupid and more stupid, and it is driving me crazy. And it's like me and Susie have watched a bunch, but it's gotten to the point where the show makes me angry half the time. And so if it was actually a good show that didn't just go off into whatever the hell went wrong with once,
Yeah.
and that's really the hard part with me in
I think
TV
what
shows.
went wrong there was Disney ABC.
I'm sure they've made a good show before. I can't think of what that would be.
I rather liked Alias.
I haven't watched that.
The first season was pretty good at that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Well, it isn't even out yet. I mean, it comes out November 23rd, right?
Oh!
Yeah.
20th anyway.
It's more alien-ish.
I'm sorry. Were you done talking about Penny Dreadful? It sounds like it might be neat.
The one thing I would say is, you can buy it by the episode. So drop $3 on that first episode and see if it grabs you, because it probably will.
We'll see. If I spend $3 on something, it's probably going to be the DLC for Never Alone. But,
Okay. Yeah, it's not a
there you
documentary,
go.
so I can understand why you'd go
Pushing
that
Daisies. Okay.
what about Pushing Daisies?
It just got referenced in there too.
Oh, is that
Oh,
an
I-
ABC show?
I just bought that DVD. It was a porn joke. Go on.
Oh. Oh. Giving her the daisy. Got it.
No, there's two girls named Daisy. I'm not going to get into it.
Oh God. This is just getting
Well,
worse.
right. You rented it. It's a porn. You can't get into it.
Oh! Oh!
If it's on disc, I can figure out a way. Let me just leave it at that.
Anyway, so we wanted to blab about the Jessica Jones a bit. Because the
Yes,
trailer
we did.
released.
Boy, did it. That shit was dark.
It's, well, and I find it interesting because keep in mind, I'm going to constantly compare it to the comic. The first 21 issues of Alias, a.k.a. Jessica. Well, no, it's just called Alias, a.k.a. Jessica Jones. Was the next series that was not on Marvel's Max line, but the Purple Man is just like the final 3 or 4 issues of that. And this very much makes it look like it's going to be the whole season.
Yeah. Oh no, it's yeah. In fact, hold on. Let me go do it. Because I looked this up once already. But David Tennant basically is in the whole fucking thing, pretty much.
I hope he's just. I hope it's like somebody streaming a game and his face is just on the corner of the screen the whole time. I fucking love David Tennant. And when
I want him to be in like the corner of everything. David Tennant has a presence in all 13 episodes.
Well, then we will see if you feel like you need a shower after watching him, because he is
Yeah.
going to play a dirty, despicable motherfucker.
Oh, dude, what they showed of the trailer already convinced me that is what we're fucking getting.
I do, like, as excited as I am for this series, I'm trying really hard not to have a chip on my shoulder that he is not actually purple.
Well, he's wearing purple in the trailer.
Yeah, but he has purple skin in the comics.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, but you know what?
That would look
I don't
fucking
know.
stupid.
I don't know about you guys. I really liked Sin City, but that yellow bastard looked dumb.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Sin City's pretty dumb. Let's be honest. Like,
I liked it.
No, I like it. I'm just saying it's dumb.
But even that, it would be.
Well, it's
You-
a Frank
you
Miller title, so it's always going to have a certain kind of likable edge, but still be dumb.
And
Yeah.
what my point is, that character was so distracting by the fact that he was yellow.
Yeah.
That he
He
didn't
stood out
seem
too
scary. It drew too much away. And from what it seems like, the way David Tennant's going to play this guy. Excuse me. I just want to focus on that. Like, I don't need him being purple to be scary.
Yeah, no, that's not a requirement. It just would be more awesome. But
Well, I keep really kind of hoping that because he's wearing purple all the time, that eventually Samuel L. Jackson comes in and punches him out. And that's my thing.
Yeah, we didn't get any Marvel cameos in Daredevil. We're not going to get any here.
Well, that's a really good point. Daredevil, he didn't put on the red suit for like the first 12 episodes. And it
Yeah.
rocked!
And I guarantee you that suit is going to be slightly different by the time season 2 starts as well.
Oh, no shit.
Oh, did you guys see the what was it? The 10-second trailer preview thing for season 2 of Daredevil?
No, I did not.
Nope.
Got to see Elektra putting on a little face mask thing.
Are you fucking kidding?
Got to see the back of Punisher's head as he's walking through a hospital.
That is a terrifying sentence.
It is. Yeah, I know. Why. What is he doing there?
If he's in a hospital, he better be on his back or somebody's getting fucked up.
I was going to say, because I'm betting I know what that is that Daredevil probably hospitalized some motherfucker he has a beef with, and he's just going through the building to find him.
I mean, man, if Punisher's hunting Daredevil, and Punisher realizes that what's-her-name works at the hospital and is connected to Daredevil.
Well, she's in one episode of Jessica Jones.
Yeah, well, she's supposed to be the connective tissue for all the series.
Connective tissue.
I'd connect her
She's in
tissue,
those.
if you know what I mean.
Oh, God.
Cut that in post.
Sure I will. Sure I will.
But there are. I
You want to
actually
give her
started
the D for decency.
Oh God. Okay. No. I'm not even going to type that as an option for a title. That's no. So there are several things about this damn trailer though that really got my attention, and I'm wondering. I finally looked up, John, what you had told me about Jessica Jones and Kilgrave in the comics. They're going to be hard pressed to put all of a lot of what he did into this show. Although, because Netflix is apparently home of Marvel Dark, then we're going to get a fair bit of it.
They might not show it, but they definitely alluded to some pretty bad shit.
Yeah, they're going to talk about a lot.
Here's the deal. They have okay, minor spoiler. The episode names have leaked. Well, actually, maybe before I even go into it, how do you guys feel about this? If I tell you an episode name, is that going to upset you?
Just the names will? But if you guys are going to go off on, like, oh, well, that must mean they're talking about this, and this, I might not be super stoked, because I know nothing about this woman.
Okay, well then I won't go down that route then.
Yeah, I was going to say, because I just got a message that there is a bit of muting because we're discussing spoilers, potentially.
Yeah, I mean, maybe a month from now, we can go full with that, but...
What I would just as soon do is just dig through what the trailer had to offer.
Well, I have a pretty good guess as to how the series is going to function, what the history of Jessica Jones's character is going to be, and I almost guarantee you they are going to do, like, the only piece of her past that I don't know how they are going to, like, let me think, how do I put this? Her history with the Purple Man. There is something that happens at the end of it that is not perverse or anything. It just involves an X-Man. And it involves an X-Man with a power that has not presented itself in the Marvel Universe, especially not in that level. So I don't know how they are going to do that because it's a very important piece that needs to happen.
Yeah, there's a lot going on with rewrite. Yeah, not quite. Well, rewrite would actually kind of be an accurate
The series
term.
is impossible to translate directly. The opening story, she discovers Captain America's secret identity. Captain America obviously doesn't have a secret identity in the MCU. One of the other stories deals with a church that hates mutants.
Oh God, we did, didn't we? We overshot our time a little bit.
No,
It's already 9:05. Well, we're good for. Here we go maximum to 9:30.
Yeah.
So we're mostly good, but still, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think it's a comfortable zone to work in.
We're fine. I think I'm making everyone nervous with my speculation on this. So I will stop, and we'll just go ahead and wrap it up then.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, it's worth discussing some of the footage details in there, though.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of expecting more for us to do.
Because I mean, we already get the idea.
I will because I will not have the self-control not to speculate with my comic knowledge on what they've shown in the trailer.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're going to have to
So,
talk to me about that shit later.
You guys will have to step through it, and I will not.
This lady can jump real high, you guys.
Yeah, no, it's what we can already discern from the trailer is that Kilgrave has a wicked strong mutant power of suggestion.
And can wield it over dozens of people at the same time.
The fucking precinct office.
Uh-huh. Where just the cops have all their guns pointed at people, and he's talking to her over a cell phone, and man, I really like the voice that he's using.
Yes. That's what, and it was one of those things that I thought about it going, David Tennant loves doing weird shit. But I've always kind of had a hard time whether or not I'd be able to take him seriously as a villain.
Well, there's a reason
he fucking seems to have fixed that for me.
There's a reason that comedic actors can do dramas and drama people can't always do comedy. It's because you have to be good at acting in order to do all that goofy, off-the-wall, wacky shit that he did as Doctor Who, to be convincing and funny and not be off-putting and just, take people out of the show. So I'm not surprised.
The only thing that makes me worry about him is his performance in Harry Potter.
I don't remember him being in that.
He played a really cornball villain.
He had it was also kind of early in his major career.
He had a tongue thing that he did all the time.
Because he was Slytherin, and he was the son of Barty Crouch. He was Barty Crouch Jr., and he had committed a murder via magic and all of that fun stuff.
Okay.
So
I'm not concerned at all.
It was a very brief cameo, but the thing is that there are some details in there, and they are ones that knowing even just what the trailer demonstrates of his ability is really spooky because of the finesse that he demonstrates. Like, there's a shot of the three people that he's actually talked their way through putting nooses around their necks. And
I don't remember that.
Oh, it's a quick shot. Look for it because it was. She talks about how you don't know the things he's made me do. That little bit she goes on.
Oh.
And it's one of the parts where he goes, "Oh, come on, Jessica," kind of thing. And she whips her head around, and as she does, these three people are standing on a ledge, and they've, in quick succession, all three, one by one, hop off the ledge, which means that they're going to be swinging in the pendulum desk toy kind of pattern. And I was
like
just
a pendulum death toy, am I right?
And I just saw that, and it really put a fucking chill on me, because I'm like going, oh, that was an intentional finesse.
A perpetual gross shin machine. They're not all gems, all right? Fuck you.
What you should type in the option for the perpetual death machine thing, because that was good. But he's got some steep capability going on, and David Tennant is definitely pulling the creepy, but it's the is he gonna touch me through the fucking screen creepy.
I'm super stoked. We got what, 2.5, 3 more weeks to wait here?
We got about
not long.
2.5, 3. Yeah, you're right, because it's the 20th, I think, when it comes out.
I think it'll be great. I like the scenes I saw with Luke Cage.
Dude, in fucking context of all the camera editing and the filtering, he fucking looks just like him.
Yeah.
In the original shots, I was like, well, he's close. Bullshit. That motherfucker looks just like him.
Well, he needs a yellow shirt.
He'll get it, I'm sure.
Okay. Yeah, he'll get it 5 minutes before the end of the last episode, like fucking Daredevil.
Luke Cage doesn't really have a... I mean, the only time he had a costume was in the 70s, and the actors already talked about how he didn't want to put on the tiara. So I doubt we're going to get that. If we get that, it's going to be in like a flashback or something.
It's okay, because it's going to be just like Falcon. He was actually my favorite part of the last Captain America movie, especially his tweets about it going, well, I was really disappointed because I was thinking I was going to get to wear tights. I was like, yeah, I'm going to like him.
thought they could do it. They're just putting him in a tight yellow shirt.
Yeah,
do
no,
it.
that much they'll do. I'm sure of that. But now the way they're playing that up, just like the fact that he's followed Jessica to the point that he knows that she's capable to some degree.
Yeah, well, I really like the. I mean, that's what makes a good character, is so it's not. Makes a good villain is knowing what their capabilities are without having to slap you in the face with them.
Yep.
With exposition and stuff. Like, they can use that to sort of reveal him and sort of the magnitude of his depravity over the
Right.
course of the series without going, this guy's real bad. You know what he did to me one time? And it's I get real high hopes here.
Well, just like when Jessica was actually interviewing that girl.
Do we know who she is? Is she just
I have
some girl?
no clue who she is, but I keep wondering if she's a super. Because
Okay.
she commented, he made me jump for so long. And then she ends by looking at her and goes, he told me that I still was never as good as you.
Yeah.
And you just kind of go, oh, nausea setting in.
But 45 minutes or 45 seconds before that, they show her jumping over a building. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
I'm pretty stoked for it. And goddamn, is that going to be spooky shit? They're definitely reaching. And I was already happy that Daredevil took its time to tell a good story that every episode felt appropriately full without rushing it.
Yeah, they're not doing Arrow,
Yeah.
which God help me, I've started watching season 2 of. But
Oh God, no, don't.
It's good. Season 2 is good. But,
No, it's not.
Well, it's not as good as Daredevil or probably what this show is going to be. But you know what? It's better than Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Okay, I'll give you that. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I wanted to like, but
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is 3 letters off.
I mean, look, it's the people who really dislike Arrow are big fans of the comic, and the people who like Arrow are people who
Never
don't
read
give
the
a shit
comic.
about DC, but who now have read more DC because of that show.
yeah.
Well, I've been watching it, and I've just been waking up in the middle of the night just doing chin-ups. I don't know why.
Well, I mean, really, what really tells you you've seen too much is when you start doing the ladder.
Yeah, but I have some sick abs.
Yeah,
I'm gonna walk around all my coworkers showing them my sick abs all the time.
Yeah, and that dude started that show in his 30s, so
Oh, wow.
Yep.
yeah.
Which is funny because it's still 10 years younger than Green Arrow is supposed to be.
That's what a personal trainer and a nutritionist will do for you.
That's
Anyway.
right.
I feel like we've wrapped up.
Creatine as well.
Yeah.
But, I have very high hopes and a lot of faith that Jessica Jones is A, going to be good, but also be spooky as shit.
Yeah, I think we've talked this topic enough.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and close everything out. So I appreciate everyone for joining us.
Right on. And I'm also going to take the time real quick. Ian, where are you?
Yeah, no emails or tweets this month or this cast. We gotta push that out harder.
No shit, man. I actually, and it's funny because I'd said that when the last time we were doing this show, I was like, it became a thing. If Ian missed an episode, it always felt weird.
Yeah, we only spoke for an hour and 45 minutes on like 4 things.
It always did, though. It really did because he always had that guy just has a near magic ability to come up with an odd question that I would not have expected, and he always kept it pretty damn fresh. I liked it.
No, I love Ian's emails. So, Scott, where can we find you?
No place interesting.
Okay.
You'll find me on John's future album.
Yeah, sure. We'll talk about that when we're actually close to releasing it.
That's right.
Jake, where can we find you?
TheOtherJZee, that's JZEE on Twitter. Same on the TVGP forums, which is tvgp.tv/forum. And I'm also on the Game Club cast over there, which is a monthly sort of. We pick a game. There's 3 random games. Everyone votes for them from the forums, and whatever pile of shit or crowning achievement gets picked, we play through it and talk about it. This month it's actually getting pushed back a week, so it'll be early November.
Okay, and you guys
I gotta go see Bill Burr.
talk about
Metal Gear.
yeah, that was it.
Metal Gear Solid 1,
Yeah, that gem everyone missed.
which
So.
I'm not going to be very kind to. So
Oh.
stay tuned; it'll be fun.
Okay. So, and you can find me at MusiM.bandcamp.com, where you can buy my music. I do all the music for the show. You can also find me also on another E1M1 show called Picking Up the Pixels, where we talk exclusively about RPGs. So if I didn't piss you off enough talking about Undertale tonight,
maybe he can offend you further on a different subject.
I can piss you off again by talking about it again on Picking Up the Pixels later this month. But yeah, I think someone just tried to force choke me. So anyway, so thank you for joining me, guys, and we'll see everyone next turn.
See ya.
Right on. Take it easy.
Show titles. Can't forget those.
On purpose. Just because, John will have to figure it out. He'll figure it out. But still, like, I gotta be a dick somehow by proxy. Just because I know I'm gonna get a text message about it later going, "You fucker." I'm going, ha ha.
Oh, my audio's not on. That's why you guys can't hear me. We are
That's
still
right.
streaming, and everyone can hear you again.
All right.
So, show titles. What you guys got? Yeah.
All right. We have a few to work with here. I already know my favorite. So
There's a couple good ones.
Yep. There's Screaming at Goats, The Smart Way to Go. I don't know why, but I just kind of liked that. Undertale, Acting All Night was amusing.
Okay.
Flavor of the Game. And then my personal favorite, It's a MOMster. Loved that. The mythos
Shaking my
of,
head.
Yeah. The Mythos of John. Office Desk Death Machine. Midnight Chin-Ups and My Sick Abs.
I like Midnight Chin-Ups, and It's a Momster.
I'm feeling it's a MOMster.
Oh, you fuckers.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll
I knew I shouldn't have said it the second it
You
came out of my
absolutely
fucking mouth.
should have. That was great.
I'm going to be paying for this one.
Yeah.
Why? I celebrate this. This is fantastic shit.
I've created a Momster.
Okay. So, thank you everyone for joining us on the stream.